Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Emmanuel. In our last video, we learned how to create an observable object that is able to notify us whenever any of its properties change. What we're going to be doing today is to learn how we can directly bind to those individual properties. And by doing this, we're not just reading, but we're also able to modify the values of these properties. If this is something you're interested in, then you're definitely in the right place. Let's jump right in. So as you can see here, we have a very simple project. This is what we had in our last video. If you haven't watched the last video, I would highly recommend to watch it. If you're already familiar with the observable macro, then it's okay. You don't need to go. If you also are not familiar with binding, then I would also highly recommend you check out that video and then you can come to this one. But if you know both of them, then yeah, let's jump right in. So what we have here is a very simple project. We have a text, hello world. This text is now a view model. And then whenever we click on this button, the click B button, the counter here is incremented and then this value is changed. So we do this and then this gets changed. We keep clicking, this one keeps changing. All right. Now what I want us to do in this video is we're going to add a text field as a child. So we're going to create a new view and this view is going to hold a text field. And I want this text field to display the text in our view model.text. And whenever the text in the text field changes, I want the value in the view model.text to also be updated to match the value in the text field. All right. Now to do that, we're going to first of all have to create our different view. So I'm just going to say struct and we call this child view. And then we're going to say var, we need a body that is some view. And then what we want to do, like I mentioned earlier, I want us to display the text from the view model. So what we're going to do, we're going to pass our view model into this child. And to do that, we simply say let view model be of type view model. So with this, we already now have access to the text. So if I were to try saying something like text view model.text, and here let's try to load our child view by passing in our view model, we should see a text here also saying hello world. But now I want this to be a text field. So how do we do that? So we're going to create a text field. And here we're going to say enter some text. All right. But what you would notice here is that this requires us to pass in not just a regular string, but we need to bind to a string. So we want here to bind to this text. And this binding is what gives us that two-way connection where we're not just reading, we're not just going to display the value from the view model's text, but we're also going to be able to change that value. Now, how can we do this? Because here, this is just a regular constant. So this does not allow us to be able to provide or to use the syntax that we have or that we've used in the past with bindings where we say $ view model dot, in this case, we want text. This is not possible. So for us to be able to have this bindable object, we simply need to say that this is a bindable object. And it's as easy as that. So here we simply say bindable and bar. And by doing this, this is going to provide us with the bindable property. And now we can directly bind to individual properties within our observable class. So now that we have that, let's actually just add some styling here. So maybe we can see border. And now you can see that we have hello world written in our text field as it is. And if I were to change the value, click here and changed, you can see that the text also gets changed. So the view model tells us what the value is. The text field is able to update that value and everything works in connection. All right. So that's the bindable property wrapper. There's one more thing I'd like to mention just for a side note. Now, this bindable may not always be required. So in this case, we wanted to bind to a specific property inside of our observable object. And for that reason, we had to specify the add bindable. If we didn't need to bind and we simply wanted to modify the values, then we wouldn't need to do this. Let's give an example. Let's say that we have a button here, because I always add buttons. And in this button, I would say, don't click me. All right. And so here I'm going to change this back to a constant. So this is a constant view model. And whenever you click this button, we're going to change the text of the view model dot text and say, how dare you? Now, when this re-renders or when this loads, okay, I think you already did that was fast. Now, when we click on this button, you can see that this changed. Now, this is possible because remember the view model itself is a class, and that means it's a reference type. So it's basically modifying the same object. And if you don't know how, or if you don't know the difference between structs and classes, then you could also check out this video that explains that. But I just wanted you to know, as a side note, that you may not always need to specify the at bindable, but you need to specify at bindable whenever you want to bind to an observable, to a property in an observable object. Okay. Yeah, that's basically it for this video. If you have any questions, of course, go ahead and leave it in the comment section. If you haven't subscribed already, please go ahead and do so. If you found any value at all and you're looking forward to more videos, then yeah, just subscribe. All right, to the next video. Bye-bye.